Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A warning for senior citizens about two thieves driving around and lying their way into homes in one part of Oakland County.
Help Me Hank looking into problems with the Postal Service, which now has the attention of a senator from Michigan. Good to have you with us for Local 4 News at 6. Has your mail been delayed or maybe not even arriving at your home? It has become a problem for many, and that has huge implications for many things, but certainly the November election.
And now an investigation is getting underway. Today, our consumer investigator Hank Winchester talked with those who were frustrated, along with Senator Gary Peters, who is launching this investigation.
So many of you have emailed Help Me Hank asking, why is it taking so long for my mail to get to me? This has never been a problem before until recently. Well, now it's caught the attention of Senator Gary Peters, and now a full investigation getting underway. It's happening all over Metro Detroit. Mail delays, long delays. It's concerning and frustrating. Just ask Dr. Luther Rosemond.
We've been having a problem throughout the whole neighborhood. All my neighbors, we're not getting our mail, maybe one delivery a week.
Dr. Rosemond tells me he noticed a big change at his eCourse home. Letters, bills, all arriving weeks late. It has him worried he will miss something important.
You know, a day late, okay, but not a week, or they don't know where it is or it doesn't show up. That just doesn't make sense.
The mail delays have Senator Gary Peters so concerned, he's now launching a full investigation.
I've been hearing from folks all across the state of Michigan that are very concerned that they're not seeing the kind of delivery that they're used to getting from the Postal Service.
Senator Peters says he wants to know what's causing the delays and if politics may be involved. Why? Well, the senator is looking ahead to the November election and has concerns absentee ballots will be late. It could affect the election results and your right to vote, and it's why many are hoping this investigation moves very quickly.
With absentee ballots, we know we're going to have a record number of absentee ballots being mailed in the fall. The last thing we want are those ballots just piling up somewhere because policies are in place that don't move mail as efficiently and quickly as they should.
And Senator Peters wants to hear from you. He wants to know your story. If you've experienced a delay at mail at your home or maybe your business, we have the link for you to send an email directly to the senator and his team, and we'll post that for you right on clickondetroit.com. I'm Hank Winchester. Help Me Hank.
Okay, Hank, and Peters says he's also reaching out to Senate colleagues to see what problems others may be experiencing with mail delivery in other parts of the country.
The much talked about Rocket Mortgage initial public offering took flight today. The launch not quite as bright as initially intended. Our business editor Rob Maloney live with more and a look at how it went and what today's event means to the company in the days ahead. Rod?
Well, Devin, you know, when they do these things, they do what's called a road show. And they put on a production, a presentation to the big money investors. Now, Dan Gilbert is highly skilled at this, and yet even still, when you consider the current environment, well, the investors weren't biting as much as Dan would have liked, and so they had to pare back a little bit. It's a Wall Street ritual. IPO executives ring the opening bell. Rocket founder Dan Gilbert and CEO Jay Farner kicked off the trading day. Soon thereafter, they went on CNBC to discuss the merger and Gilbert's first national television appearance since his stroke. He gave some insight into his health.
You know, it could have been worse, let's put it that way, but it took out my left side, so it was a right brain stroke.
Investment banker Sheldon Stone of Amherst Partners called that a critical part of the day's events, reassuring new shareholders, saying,
I'm the leader here, and I'm going to be around. I've brought the company over the last 25 plus years this far, and I'm going to lead it into the future.
Part of Gilbert's presentation included an assertion Rocket Mortgage is something more than meets the eye.
We think we're a technology company that happens to do home loans. We've said that forever. And there's a lot of years and years of effort by hundreds of people in that technology team to...
We're up to 2,500 technologists now.
Which apparently did not impress the big money. Stone wasn't surprised, but still thinks paring back was a good thing to do.
I think it's close to half of what they set out to value it at. And the reason I say it's good is because I think it's more realistic given the times that we're in.
So 100 million shares went on sale today. That's one of the largest IPOs of the year so far. and they started out trading at just over $18 a share. They ended up at $21 a share, or just under that today. So it was a fairly good outing, and it showed that there is interest out there among investors. Back to you.
We also got little glimpses, I guess, Rod, of what Gilbert might be intending to do with all this new cash.
Well, one of the things that he said was he wants to go out and buy more financial tech companies because he feels that he has a fairly good portfolio already in place, but he thinks he can do more with it. And he is serious about trying to make Rocket more of a technology company than a finance company.
Fascinating odyssey so far. We'll see where it goes. All right, Rod.
Indeed. All right, Troy police are investigating a break-in and robbery scheme targeting older homeowners. Police say incidents happened at 3 homes yesterday on Chesapeake, Boyd, and Key West streets. We're told a man and woman got into 2 homes by telling the older residents that they were there to check the water meter or electrical hookup. A 3rd homeowner didn't let them in. In one case, the 2 got away with a safe that had jewelry and savings bonds inside. Police say the suspects drive a light-colored sedan, possibly a Chevy Cavalier, seen in this video here. Both are described as between 40 and 50 years old, and both have olive complexion and dark hair. The man was seen wearing a green reflective vest in an attempt to pass as a utility worker. If you've seen them, if you know anything, call Troy Police.
A Local 4 update now, as a former youth baseball coach is sentenced after pleading guilty to sex assault charges. A judge sentenced Joseph Frappier of Heartland to a minimum of 15 years in prison. He admitted to sexually assaulting 2 boys he coached after inviting them to his home and giving them vape and alcohol. Prosecutors say it happened several times over a 4-year period. Frappier could spend up to 40 years in prison.
All right, checking today's new developments in the fight against COVID-19. Michigan is reporting 722 new cases, along with 26 additional deaths. 17 of those deaths were from a review of vital records.
Governor Whitmer today signed another executive order, this one requiring mask use at child care centers and camps. The rule applies to everyone 2 years and older. Whitmer says that's due to outbreaks and mounting evidence that children do indeed spread the virus. We continue to hear about the importance of developing widespread accurate testing in order to fight it. Dr. Frank McGeorge here to explain how antibody tests work and what can get in the way of that accuracy, which has been a problem, Frank.
Absolutely, Devin. You know, testing for antibodies to COVID-19 is essentially testing to see if a person has been exposed to COVID-19. But there are many, many steps in the testing where things can go wrong, which is why people shouldn't use antibody tests at this point yet to prove they are immune. Here is a super simplified explanation of how they work and some problems that occur.
When you're infected by a virus, your body makes antibodies to different protein pieces on the surface of the virus. Once the infection is over, your body keeps producing antibodies that float around in your blood in case the infection returns. Finding antibodies to pieces of the virus in a person's blood means they've been infected before. But how do you find antibodies to a specific piece of a virus? Antibodies are built by our immune cells to only attach to one specific shape on a virus. So, to find and catch them, you use that shape as bait. That's basically how antibody tests work. The bait, or antigen, is stuck to a surface. A person's blood, full of all sorts of antibodies, is dripped over the bait, and the antibodies you're looking for will stick to the antigen. After you wash everything else away, you're left with the antibodies you're interested in. Next, you just count them. One method actually uses a signal antibody that binds to the antibodies you're trying to count. Now, if that felt complicated, it is. So let's wind back the clock to some important steps that have to go right for the test to work. The selection of the antigen that will be used as the antibody bait is important. The antigen needs to be unique to the virus you want to show someone has antibodies to. If you chose an antigen that's also on other viruses, when you detect antibodies to it, you won't know if it's because they were exposed to the virus you're interested in or the other cross-reacting virus. Also, the antigen needs to be exact. If the antigen is flawed, then the antibodies you're looking for simply won't stick and therefore won't be detected.
So the bottom line is a good test is hard to make because it needs to have the right antigen bait that's exactly the same as an important protein on the virus that is also unique to the virus. Now, another question is simply what level of antibodies you need to have meaningful immunity. Detecting antibodies is not enough. We don't know yet how protective they are, and if they are, how long that protection would last. Back to you.
And for anyone who missed your 5 o'clock story, I need to explain, you did all that claymation yourself at your house, and the bad news for you is we now expect more. I hope you're working on the Christmas special.
Let's hope that I don't have that much time on my hands, right?
Exactly right. That's great stuff. All right, Doc.
Done, Doc. All right, well, the pandemic has been hard on everyone, but there's overwhelming evidence women of color have been disproportionately affected both personally and financially. Larry Spruill looks at new research measuring that impact.
It's no secret COVID-19 has really swept across the city of Detroit, and new numbers are now showing it's affecting one particular group harder than others.
I was at work and I was feeling sick.
Kara Fields is one of the thousands of people here in Michigan who caught the coronavirus. She says her experience started in late March.
I was coughing, I couldn't breathe. I had a temperature for like up to 103.
The pain on a scale of 1 to 10.
It's most definitely a 10.
2/3 of Michigan's women of color have been affected by COVID.
Those are the hard numbers, says Jenna Lynn Soto with National Women's Law Center. The center, along with Mothering Justice here in Detroit, just released a survey confirming what many already knew. About 600 women participated in an online survey from May 20th through June 4th of this year. Of those who took the survey, 67% African American, 33% either Hispanic, Asian American, Middle Eastern, or North African. The results state among women of color in Michigan, 2/3 have been affected financially or personally by the virus.
You know, it's been really hard on our family. It's been very hard on our family.
Ebony Taylor with Mothering Justice lost a loved one.
I had a very close family member, my dear aunt, Regina Johnson, passed. This poll has also showed us what we've always known at Mothering Justice. Issues like affordable and quality childcare, education, the education piece, the paid sick time and family leave. We have all seen it come to a head during this pandemic. We could have survived something like this had these policies been in place prior to the pandemic.
Reporting on the Detroit East Side, Larry Spruill, Local 4.
All right, Larry, a special remembrance of the late Congressman John Lewis was held in Detroit today.
The Detroit Association of Black Organizations hosted an outdoor, socially distanced screening of the documentary John Lewis, Good Trouble. The documentary highlights the 60-plus years Lewis spent advocating for civil rights. There's one more showing tonight at 7 at the DABO's Sheffield Center parking lot. You do need to register, though, to attend.
August weather does not get much better than what we've got here. Let's check in with Ben.
And with that in mind, guys, it's never too early to look at the weekend. It's going to be warmer, and we are going to start bringing rain chances in. Find out how long those are going to last coming up.
Dance can be like a form of therapy for some kids, but studio owners are worried they won't be able to survive the pandemic.
And we want to do it legally, we want to do it safely, and we want to, we want our businesses to survive.
Tonight, we're talking to a Metro Detroit business who's looking for clarity from Governor Whitmer.